Okay, apparently I'm live. It says 0 views, but I never know if that's accurate or not. Anybody here yet? Ah, hi Death's Head. My mic is working, isn't it? Yeah, it is. My computer's running a little slow lately. Maybe it's time I finally upgraded from Windows 98. I special iron. I can't decide if you're joking or not. Everything seems good. Okay, good. It's been so long. Hey, look, I got Winamp again. Here, let me get this started. Well, glad to have made your day even better, Death's Head. You know, it's been so long since I used this, I actually don't know what volume to set this at, so let me know if it's too loud or too quiet. I can't decide if I'm joking or not either. I can just about hear, but it's a bit faint. Okay, I'll turn it up a little bit. I missed the Fester's Quest covers. They're so good. I am gonna put this damn hair up. It's kind of warm in here. It's kind of warm in general, really. I finally got a haircut recently and I wanted to leave my hair down for a bit, but it's nice to get the occasional surprise. Well, it looks like it's only YouTube so far. I nearly said YouTube. Oh, just as I say that, a third person shows up. Hi, Ducky. Oh, you like the bangs? Thank you. I was just saying I finally got a haircut recently. That's one of the reasons. I'm going to turn this down on my end. Again, let me know if the music's too loud. Yeah, it's one of the reasons I didn't stream one of these weekends is I finally got a haircut. And last weekend I saw Thunderbolts, which was really good. Recommend that for everybody. Yeah, and then there were some other weekends where I just wasn't feeling well. Sometimes I just feel crappy on Saturday. I think it's my choice of breakfast messes up my stomach, but anyway. Hi, Living Corpse. Thanks, Special Iron. Is there any famous actor you wish you could have met? For me, it's Adam West. Why? So I assume you mean someone who's dead? Maybe B. Arthur. I'm sure there's a whole lot of other choices, but I don't know, I just always liked her. Yeah, Adam West was cool. Let me pop out the chat here. God, I forgot how good the Fester's Quest covers were. Move Winamp over here. God, I missed Winamp too. Let me also change this to live chat so I don't miss any messages. That was very weird that one time that happened. I've switched from blonde to brunette lately. I was looking for a chestnut color, but it's gone auburn almost. That sounds pretty. Oh, Michael Clark Duncan. Yeah, I was pretty sad. Oh, you know what? I should have said Jim Henson. That's a much more obvious choice for me. Yeah, I would like to have met Jim Henson. I don't know what suddenly made me think of that, but yeah, Michael Clark Duncan would have been another good one. There's chestnut color here. It's gone now. So let me show you guys. So this is obviously the page I'm working on. I did a little bit of more work on it since the last stream. What did I do? It's been so freaking long, I don't remember. Basically, I finished laying down the base colors. Now I just need to add shading and highlight. I also started on the next page. This is obviously a placeholder. I was going to draw Falcor in this pose. I decided against it eventually, but that's why that's there. This, I actually... Here, I'll even show it to you. I modeled this in 3D Studio Max. Oh, well, it won't let me. Here, I'll show it to you real quick. Bum, 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 bum. No, I don't want to... What the fuck? Already takes like 10 minutes to load the fucking program, and now they're bugging me about joining some. Just to clarify one thing straight away, I think it's safe to say that none of us wants to wear fashions. Oops, 3D Max just covered you up. 1 second. Come on, oh my god, it's so I hate using 3D Max. Here, let me maximize viewport. So here's, oh, that's showing the camera. Where's perspective? There we go. So this is a castle I modeled. Originally I was just going to, where's the stupid, I already forgot how 3D Max works. Originally this was just kind of like, I was gonna render this out and use it as like a reference image. And instead, I rendered it and just put it in Photoshop. And I added all these details. I talked about it in the Discord, but yeah. And then I ended up just creating this whole freaking page, but I'm doing it out of order. Like, the last thing I'm gonna do is draw the one panel that's gonna be inset here. So yeah, it turned out that this page 8 was gonna be a splash page, so... What was I saying? Oh, none of us wants to wear fashions made from trash bags. Does anyone else think that was Styx doing that? I didn't think about it till after the fact, but it was kind of interesting how he showed up and went, I must have missed something here. I'm like, yeah, okay. I don't know. It could be that it wasn't them, but... Anyway, I don't know how many people even know, but that was referencing something that happened in the last stream. A random harmless troll showed up, and in retrospect, I kind of suspect that maybe it was Styx, but anyway. Fun fact, Jim Henson created the notorious Wilkins coffee commercials because he hated coffee and asked himself, what would make me drink coffee? And apparently the answer was cartoonish violence. That's very random. I was about to say Falcor looks uncharacteristically casual. Okay, so here's why I did this. I looked for a reference image because originally I was going to have him looking out, you know, on a balcony. On, like, you know, the idea is that he's on one of these little balconies. And this was just a reference image, and I worried that having the guy facing this way would throw off the well, what's the word? Anyway, I thought it wouldn't look right. So I put the image there to just kind of make sure that it would look okay, and it did, so. Turns out I'm not even going to use that pose because he has to be in silhouette. And it's obviously a bright sunny day, so why would he be in silhouette? It just doesn't look right. So I think I'm going to show him from the back instead. But in any case, that's why. But yeah, the way this guy's mood really contrasts with the whole vibe of the page is so kind of funny to me. I missed a few streams, but last time we learned your followers are equal opportunists and demanded the men have cake too. I'm not sure I even remember that. Forgot to put the big fiery eyeball at the top. Hi, Isaiah. Super speed high while at work. And a carnival going on outside. To be fair, I doubt it was Styx. It was a little random even for Styx. Maybe. Is he telling the other Technocats you will eat man flesh? What? I feel like I missed something there. Now imagining Falco wearing a sensible flannel shirt, and it's a really funny image. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, this is the next page. It is a little funny that I'm doing it in reverse order. I'm doing it all bass-ackwards. Yeah, I started drawing Falcor in this pose and making it in silhouette, and it just didn't look right, so I'm going to change that. But anyway, this is how page 8 looks for now. Still got to finish page 7, though. That was Lord of the Rings Saruman reference. He says it while on the balcony of his tower. Oh shit, well, I guess I haven't seen Lord of the Rings in a while. Most movies are filmed out of order. Well, true. So anyway, I was gonna mention what I did, what changes I made other than just adding all of the base colors. I also I noticed that the background was almost entirely kind of lavender here, so I just tinted everything lavender, like the people. The birds aren't exactly, but I think it makes sense for the birds to kind of pop. And since there's a lot of yellow in this one, I tinted everyone yellow. I don't know if that's a weird thing to do, but that's what I did, so. Hi, Insidious. Lord of the Rings is just one of those things I only know via pop culture osmosis. I've seen it, I just, I don't know, I haven't re-watched Lord of the Rings very much, I guess. Oh, we're up to the Abadox covers now. Did the people who left Earth ever come back? You know, one of my writers had some ideas, like maybe they were going to come back and surprisingly they would be even more evolved than Falcor and his people, and the Cybercats and the Technocats would have to team up to fight them. Can't remember if this was my most recent write or a previous one, but... So yeah, that is something that was discussed. I think I also shaded the moon. I think I hadn't done that before. Background people. Yeah, that's... Yeah, these people don't need any... Only the... Yeah, only the foreground people on this panel need to be shaded. So is the bird a god or worshipped as a god? They worship birds. They're a big old bird cult. Christopher Lee corrected Peter Jackson regarding the sound a man makes when he's stabbed in the back. Okay. Oops. Christopher Lee had been in a lot of stabbing films. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go from left to right and just add all the shading and highlights to these people. What's the backstory behind the art? Looks nice. Thank you. It's a comic book I'm working on. Oh, 1 second. I should hide all of these. They're not technically. Whoops, what am I doing? Instead of scrolling in Photoshop, I'm scrolling on the chat. That made no sense. Let me hide all these dialogue boxes. They're not really in the way, but they're bugging me for some reason. Basically, this is the backstory for my comic. Oh, I lost my pen. How'd I lose my pen? Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you guys one more thing. This could wait till later, really, but... My secrets! Okay, so I've actually got... Let me see, can you see all this? So I've got... I made 2 accounts on 2 websites. One is Webtoon and the other is called Tapas. And these are like websites for publishing comic books. And I've got all the way up through page 6 queued. And once I finish pages 7 and 8, I'm going to make these public. And I'm going to actually start publishing. Well, I shouldn't put it in quotes. It is publishing. I'm going to start publishing Cybercats once the next 2 pages are done. So I'm actually kind of excited about that. Where did the chat go? There it is. Oh, and you said it looks nice. Thank you. Christopher Lee would know. He's been Dracula in the Hammer films. He was a spy in World War II and was Ian Fleming's step-cousin. A spy in World War II? I didn't know that. Okay, maybe he has seen people get stabbed. I was like, okay, how does he know? How does he know what it sounds like when someone gets stabbed? But okay, fair enough. It proves you're not Rimmer. Rimmer always has a pen, yeah. Oh, that Shiba page takes me back. Yeah, it's actually, you know what? Facebook reminded me of a post I made a year ago where I was putting up like page 3 of the comic. So it's taken me 2 years to get this far. Try not to think about that too much, but yeah. Christopher Lee was the highlight of the increasingly cheesy Hammer Dracula movies. You know, I've never really watched those. I probably should. But I'm just like really attached to the Bela Lugosi version of Dracula. Let me close the equalizer on Winamp. I don't need that open. There we go. What's the comic about? Oh god, how do I... What is this damn comic about? Well, it's, well, superhero genre, and it's about, shape-shifting cat people, and this is just kind of the backstory of how everything came to be, at least these last few pages. It's gonna shift to, present time right after this page, so... And this bit... is just kind of about how people evolved, humans evolved. Takes place in the distant future, obviously. Sorry, for some reason, whenever someone asks me what Cybercats is about, I'm always like, I always struggle to like think of a good way to explain it. This probably isn't a great sign, but it is what it is. Basically, ages and ages ago, I had a writer, and he wrote the first... What do you want? Tara's being a butt. Anyway, he wrote the first issue of Cybercats ages ago, and I tried to get a hold of him years ago, and he ghosted me, basically, so I don't know what's gonna happen with Cybercats after this, but I at least want to get this first issue. Why can I not select that? What am I doing wrong here? Oh, there we go. So I don't know what's gonna happen, if anything, if after I finish this first issue, but one thing at a time, I guess. Best case scenario, maybe some writer will fall in love with it and offer to do the writing for me, because I really can't write. If not, at least I can say that I got the first issue done. I actually don't like that color. Hang on a second. Heart spamming commences. Hammer Dracula is on my bucket list. Yeah, like I said, I should really watch it sometime. Still like the Simpsons parody with Mr. Burns as Dracula when Homer hammers the stake into him. Dad, that's his crotch. Oh, God. Shape-shifting cat thing kind of reminds me of Stephen King's Sleepwalkers for some reason. Oh, no. The shape-shifting is more like Transformers. Except they're not really robots. Man fucks up, cats take over, everyone's a cyborg. Oh my god, that might be the best description of cybercats anyone's ever written. That's funny. Tara's being a butt, that's her default mode. Yeah, pretty much. You know, I'd forgotten that the cybercats can transform into their cat forms. Yeah. It doesn't tend to come up very often. I'm always drawing them in their bipedal forms. Toho had some vampire movies known as the Bloodthirsty Trilogy. Interesting. The Hammer Dracula films went from a fairly straight adaptation of the book to Dracula AD 1972, where he's in the then present day. They got really goofy. Interesting. Man fucks up, cats take over, everyone's a cyborg. Okay, let me, yeah, we can, that shading doesn't need to be quite so gray. I feel like there's some hatching missing on this guy's arm. I don't know why there's hatching here but not here. Maybe I was worried about overdoing it. Actually, should I just have the whole, like... That makes sense for all that to be shaded, I think. Just figuring shit out as I go, like always. Hi, baby girl. Okay. Just straight up ignored me. She doesn't usually do that. Oops. Oh yeah, I think I love this track. composer got really creative with this song. I should probably pay attention to where the light source is, huh? I'm really bad about that. Okay, so I have the light source being from, at least as far as how the moon looks, it appears to be from this angle. Listening to this music is making me want to work on my Abadox project again. I know a while back I talked about taking a planned break from Cybercats for a little while. Maybe I'll still do that, like, once I finish these last 2 pages. Really, I'm having the shading kind of be directly above him, which is not what I intended to do, but... I don't know that he needs a highlight there. Yeah, I'll just limit the highlight to kind of his shoulder here. And this shoulder a little bit. There. I don't know, hopefully he doesn't look too flat. Jeez, this song goes really hard. You can use that as the tagline if you want. It's tempting. If it was a comedy, I definitely would. What breed of cat do I have? Terra's all black and Soul is tuxedo. So like domestic short hair, I guess, if you wanted a breed name. I always love how three-dimensional everyone appears when you finish coloring them in. Thank you. That's the idea. Cybercats would find me annoying as I'd be scratching their ears going, who's a good boy / girl? You are, yes you are. Music intensifies, Dina. Music is getting crazy again, me a metalhead. No, the music is becoming metal. Fair enough. I don't listen to that much metal. This is very metal though, isn't it, now that you mention it? Oh, that's right. I think I was gonna do maybe a couple more pages before I, before taking a break from Cybercats. I've got, like, a scene coming up where there's... with Falcor and his servant, and, right before it switches to the Cybercat characters. I probably want to get to that point before I finish, but I don't know, we'll see. Before I take a break, I mean. Ooh, boss music. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Nope. Ah, I fucked up. Alright. Shading looks that good. It's maybe a little too soft, but whatever. This guy's pretty small on the page. I was just wondering if maybe I ought to add a little highlight to this guy's hip too, but no, I think he looks fine, honestly. Okay, that part's done. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and just... there. I normally don't like to use much brown in this comic, but after a certain point I just gave up and... because I was like running out of ideas for colors. It's like, fine, I'll use brown, fuck. Actually, I guess that whole thing could be shaded, maybe. Yeah, that looks good. Oops. Okay, that's not right. The tolerance is too high. I need you to be less tolerant, Photoshop. I was gonna make a joke, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Just let that hang. I'll take a little break and check the chat in a second. That's maybe I don't need that to be all the way black. I'll be very dark brown. There we go. Oh, well, that's not much darker than the original color. Boop, 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 boop. Did you guys hear that not only are they not re-releasing, what's the term I want to use? Let me just select all of these. Sometimes it's hard to color and talk at the same time. What's the word I'm thinking of? Not remaking, but anyway, the Echo games, they're re-releasing them, remaking them, whatever. And the first two, and they're gonna put out a third one. That highlight's probably on the wrong side. I'll just put one over here too. There we go. Remastering? Is that the word I was trying to think of? That might be it. Hardly any of these guys have any mechanical details on them, but to be fair, they're pretty small on the page, so... Alright, let me take a little break and rest my hand. Phrasing. You'd think with a name like Special Iron that I'd be more into metal, but more of a soft rock kind of guy. I'm a 60s to 90s rock type of person. That's kind of close to where I am. I'm more 80s, but 70s to 90s somewhat. Metal is my favorite genre, and I find it odd. We've never gotten metal in the kaiju genre. Good point. Aha, Sephiroth is trying to infiltrate the survivors going to the moon. I forgot people were calling that character Sephiroth. It's been a long time since we used this playlist. I know. Trying to get back into Nightwish. Operatic metal. Oh, I've never heard of it, but interesting. Leather is still going to be practical even in the future. Yeah, but it wouldn't necessarily be brown, especially if none of the animals are brown anymore. Speaking of music, I was operating the mini Ferris wheel at work today, and two small girls were on it singing Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. It sounded oddly wholesome. That's cute. Breeding the shady... Oh god, the shady cows. Yeah, I think remastering was the word I was trying to think of. Yeah. I wonder if they will improve the first Echo's gameplay. I even like to hope they'll put in the pulsar power-up in it. Oh, yeah. They better. I really hope the debug code is in it. That's the only way I can play Echo. That only just occurred to me. This woman's hair is an oddly realistic color. I mean, comparatively speaking. Actually, I think there's plenty of detail in the lines. I think I can get away with just kind of adding kind of a soft shadow. Details are pretty well implied. Put the shading on the wrong side on her, didn't I? Granted, I inked this before I decided where the light was gonna be. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Well, shit, if they're gonna make another Echo game, I guess I ought to, do a game den on the, on Echo 2. I never did get around to doing that. That color's a little too saturated. That's a little better. That just didn't look quite right. I keep forgetting it's shift, not control. I don't know why I keep thinking it's control. Maybe in 3D Max that's how you select multiple things. I don't remember. Actually, why don't I just shade that whole leg to kind of help with the idea that it's bent. Do away with some of the shading on this leg. I don't know if the shading on that leg makes sense, but whatever. I'm gonna actually, since these are a little far apart from each other, I don't have to worry about them. Oh, well, they're not actually, are they? Never mind. We'll just start with the white. Yeah, I maybe should have put the shading on the moon on the other side. I didn't realize most of them had shading on the left side. Oh well. Ew. Tolerance to 5. There we go. And she's done. This is not taking long. Not that I necessarily thought it would, but we have to be careful what we say because our buddy AI... Oh, our buddy algorithm doesn't like certain words. True. Oh, the code was life fish, but I'm thinking of the debug code. The life fish just makes it so you don't have to breathe, but the debug code has an invincibility option. Oh yes, when I'm watching a highly stylized anime or game when suddenly oddly jarring realistic visual. I'm not sure what brought that on. According to a notification at the bottom of my screen, it will be sunrise soon. It's 9:30 in the evening. Oh. It's always sunrise somewhere. There you go. That's a game den I'd love to see. I know they take time to put together, though. Yeah, the first one was really fun to make, but, like, it got shit for views. But I don't really care that much about views these days. I remember I became interested in Echo after reading a magazine that had a whole walkthrough on the game complete with full maps. Oh, neat. Do I still fire up Thrill Kill every now and then? I don't think I've played that since I did the game den on it, so not really. I'm not really, like, not so into fighting games anymore. I'm not very good at them, and they're just kind of, whenever I play them, it tends to be very repetitive, because I just use the same... I pick a move that works really well, and I just spam it. I couldn't work out the whole plot, but I got that time travel and aliens were involved. Yeah. The best part about Echo is playing it for the first time and thinking it's just like a dolphin simulator type game, and then all of a sudden, like, aliens and time travel and all kinds of other weird shit. It's annoying that social media censorship has forced people to use childish euphemisms like unalive. Yeah. I don't blame them for doing it, though, but yeah. I mean, I don't blame the people for saying those words, but... Yeah, it's dumb that they have to. Whatever. I actually played the second Echo first, after renting it from a video store. Interesting. Love that the guy in the straitjacket is probably the most sane looking of the bunch. You mean Thrill Kill? Sedina's fighting game strategy is basically spam, 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 baked beans and spam, pretty much. Something. Let me make a little fix on this guy. I'm not ready to color this guy yet, but I just noticed that little white. There we go. That's gone. That's basically how you play Soul Calibur. That's how I play it for sure. Yeah. My fighting game strategy is do random combos. It looks like I know what I'm doing. I don't. I just randomize it, so it's hard to fight back. Shut up, phone. What the hell? It's probably just telling me about Blue Sky. People liking my Blue Sky post or whatever. Oh yeah, my Twitter account got banned. So that sucks. I mean, I kind of did want to leave Twitter at some point anyway, but I had some stuff I wanted to back up and I didn't think there was any hurry about it. Apparently I should have just done it. I don't think that color's a little too bright again. Keep doing that. Ah, that's better. Maybe. Maybe, oh well, that's good enough. I'll look at the chat in a second. I'm trying to see if I can finish up this guy first. I don't know if that hair highlight looks right or not. This guy is kind of colored like Autolycus from Xena. It's probably intentional at the time I did it. Now I'm looking at it, thinking, oh yeah. Do. Here, let me, there we go. I'll kind of differentiate that leg from that leg. I guess I ought to highlight his neck as well. Or not highlight, shade. Add a little bit of shading. Okay, I just got 2 more guys to color and I'm done with this panel. According to Spoonie, there's a video of a guy who beat Soul Calibur by playing it blindfolded. Yeah. I was surprised at how easy it was to get through with random button mashing. Yeah, I remember using Voldo and using this one particular move he had just over and over, and I was able, at least I was able to beat the computer. Probably not a live player, but a little more in there than I thought there was. Hey Dina, you know you started streaming on YouTube almost an hour ago? What did I do to get banned? Yeah, good question. They gave me some vague bullshit about like inauthentic something or other. And I had to look that up. And the implication is that like usually if you get banned for that reason, it's because they think you're a bot or that you're impersonating somebody. And it's so ridiculous because my account was locked down, and if I was like trying to spam, or if I was a bot, or you know, I mean bots, the purpose of a bot is to spam, right? If I was a bot, why would I lock down my account? And this is pure speculation on my part, but with the way things are going lately, I'm tempted to think it's because I had pronouns in my bio. But I don't have proof of that. That's just... But I've heard of people getting their account banned for that reason, but then it gets reinstated like a month later. So I'm kind of hoping I at least get the chance to back up some posts. But we'll see. I try to learn some combos, but I also try to avoid stuff that seems too complicated for me, like half-quarter circle motions or shit like that. Yeah. I never did play Killer Instinct. It looked interesting, though. The CPU has a harder time fighting back if you suddenly stop spamming the same move 3 times and just do something else. Interesting. Honestly, at this point, getting banned on Twitter is a blessing in disguise. Yeah, I wouldn't care if there wasn't a whole lot of stuff I wanted to back up. Excuse me. And it's not like... Basically, I had a couple of threads that I had created where sometimes I would watch a movie and I would kind of live tweet it. And I was kind of saving that stuff because a lot of times it was like a remake. Like I live tweeted watching the Child's Play remake, and it was kind of my way of taking notes if I ever, because I've been planning for a long time to make a video about the problem with horror remakes. And, you know, I live tweeted me watching the Child's Play remake, the Poltergeist remake, and what was the other one? The Stepfather remake. If anybody even remembers that existed. But yeah, and like my thoughts that I entered in there would have been really useful for, you know, like I said, I was basically going to use it as notes to write a script, but I just want to get that stuff back. I technically don't need it, I guess, but it was going to be really useful. I was also following an account of someone who had rescued a kitten who had gotten her legs and her jaw broken, and I was like really invested in that kitten's recovery. But she's doing fine now, by the way. It also turns out I had a backup account, so I'm now following just that one account on my backup. I got rid of my account a few months ago. I haven't kept up with my Blue Sky account, though. Maybe I should look at that again. Yeah, Blue Sky is pretty good so far. Hasn't been inundated with too many trolls or fascists or whatever. I'm really into series like Mortal Kombat, Soul Calibur, and Tekken, but I usually play Mortal Kombat more. I never got into the 3D games myself. I left Twitter. If a website is making me feel miserable, it's time to leave. Yeah, I hear that. I interact with people who have different political views and they still shove Nazi. Oh, Nazi. I get what you're saying. Crap in my face, yeah. Virtua Fighter 2 is still a fun game to go back to sometimes. Oh, yeah, I remember the Virtua Fighter games. Those were fun. There was a modest series of unfortunate events of game that I really enjoyed playing back in the day. Voldo, the world's most dedicated security guard. Oh, a PC game, got it. I hate when Reddit mods ban you and don't give you a reason why. Yeah, I don't post on Reddit. I find that Reddit comes up a lot whenever I do a random Google search for something. But yeah, I don't even have an account there or anything. I just end up on there once in a while. So you didn't just respond to one of Musk's tweets by saying cisgender as the moron thinks it's an insult. Nope, actually I had him blocked on Twitter. Maybe that's another reason. Hi, Gabriel. It's been a while since I've been on your streams. I've sadly had family issues going on. How's your day today? I'm sorry to hear about that. My day's going all right. I wasn't feeling super well earlier, and I was thinking about, I ended up streaming anyway, but I'm feeling better now, so. I should rephrase my earlier posts. I don't interact with people over politics. I mean, I think that's pretty much what I got from it. I don't remember how it was worded originally. I remember the time I got suspended from Twitter by quoting Bill and Ted. To be fair, I could have chosen a better line than execute them. Oh, God. I remember when I got a comment deleted on Facebook because a friend of mine, I said a joke to my friend implying like if, oh, what was it? I don't remember, but it was like maybe something you shouldn't say to somebody, but you know, we had that kind of relationship where I could be kind of snarky and say dark stuff, and Facebook just decided that it wasn't allowed, and I'm like, maybe you should like let my friend decide that. I'm glad the kitten recovered. Yeah, me too. So, like, it was really messed up. This kitten had, like, just, like, so the Facebook, the person I'm following on Facebook is, rescues cats and rehomes them. This kitten had been rehomed, and what apparently happened, I don't even want to, like, I feel bad telling you guys about it because it's really fucked up, but you know, I guess as long as I let you guys know that she is doing better now, she's actually completely fine now. But basically, I don't know how this happened, but apparently she fell out of a third-story window and broke both of her front legs and her jaw. She was in really bad shape, but she just got all fixed up and she's totally fine now. It took a while for her to recover, but the funny thing is about animals when they get injured, it's like they just like shrug it off. It was like that with her. Her name was Wonton. I shouldn't say was. Her name is Wonton. They had to like wire her jaw shut, and she actually looked really cute because she had they put like little buttons. They literally used buttons to wire her jaw shut, and she looked so cute with her little buttons. I know that sounds weird, but you'll just have to take my word on it. And she's such a fighter. And she recently got her splints off and her buttons taken out, and she's doing really well. Anyway, that's the story of Wonton, the kitten I've been following the progress of on Twitter. Oops, what am I doing? Just didn't even change the color. What the fuck is wrong with me? I had Wonton on the brain. I guess that probably looks okay. Okay, oh, this guy has actual mechanical details on him. Imagine that. I guess that means I have to do some actual shading on him. I made this guy sort of gold, didn't I? That's kind of interesting. I'm not gonna put too much detail on this because he's sort of small on the page. Let me... I think I'll just like... Yeah, just one more color like I have been doing, and I'll just make it a really... I forgot to put some shading on her hand. I should probably like soften that a little. Oops, what am I doing? Let me, it's almost a flesh color. I should probably make that a little lighter, maybe. I'm fussing over this too much. Okay. I'm just noticing some little... Ah, well, that wasn't good. Oh! I'm just making it worse. God damn it. Oh, hi, Flash. God, I kind of got behind on the chat, didn't I? I had left Twitter merely because I was tired of getting follow requests from sex bots. I hadn't gotten anything like that in a while. I already said hi to Flash. I'm now up to when he started posting. The Special Iron is not even kidding. Voldo's backstory is he was a servant or slave for a rich thief, and he still guards his vault long after his death. Oh, I'd forgotten that. I'm sure I used to know Voldo's backstory. He used to be like my favorite character to use, but... that dude was very BDSM coded with his character design. The fact that you had him blocked is a reason why he wants to get rid of the block function, yeah. I'm doing alright, Flash. I hope you are too. Twitter is indeed a toxic cesspool. Like I said, the only reason I'm mad about being banned is that I had some posts that I wanted to keep. I basically didn't really use it at all. Like, I was still kind of lurking on it, and I had my account locked down so that only people I was following could, or people who were following me could see my posts. I was hardly ever posting anything. Sometimes I would, like, react to something. React to a random post I read, but not that much, really. I was kind of gradually leaving it, I guess. I was quiet quitting it. No one has mentioned Sonic yet. But we have had a bit of echo talk, yeah. I saw Amelia Perez a few days ago. I want 2 hours and 13 minutes of my life back. I was thinking of maybe giving that a watch just to see just how bad it was. But to watch Nora soon, hopefully to wash out Carla Sofia Gascon's bad singing out of my head. I can't stand the thought of animals being in pain like that. Glad she's okay. I know, it was really hard to read about. But boy, it's like as soon as they put the splints on her legs, she was like apparently in really good spirits. Granted, she was also on painkillers. I'm sure that helped. I use Facebook and it seems I've been lucky compared to how everyone else views it. The most annoying thing I have to deal with is the experts gracing the comments of videos with their wisdom. Yeah, Facebook is annoying, but it's not a total cesspool like Twitter, at least for me. Granted, my Facebook is really curated. And my Facebooks are all, my posts are all friends only. I love how cats can lose their eyes or their legs and not let that slow them down. Yeah. I literally only have a Twitter account so I can look for Sonic movie news without getting 1,000 pop-ups telling me to log in. Yeah. Bopping to the All-Star Formation Dolphin swimming team. Like cats losing their front legs, basically becoming little kangaroos to compensate. I know, it's like they're just like, okay, this is my life now. Yeah, she's doing great now. I think the rescuer decided to keep her, at least that's what I saw people saying. Not rehome her again. I can imagine they're probably afraid to. And now that I'm here, let's switch to food and Sonic. Still haven't bought the Sonic 3 DVD. Come to think of it, I haven't either. Do I even have Sonic 2? I'm not sure if I do. I feel like they show it on TV often enough that I kind of don't need it. Or cats with cerebellar hyperplasia, which is basically a brain disorder that doesn't cause them any pain but causes them to be literally incapable of walking in a straight line. Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, and they're just like, they're just fine with it. They're like, eh, this is just how I am. Add that to your birthday list pronto. Not to jinx anything, but there's a surprising lack of sticks tonight. Yeah, I noticed that. Would have thought the talk of Echo would have drawn him in. Ivy, Tira, and Taki were my favorite characters to use. I have a big video game crush on Raphael. I think I used to use Siegfried for a little while. I thought his backstory was really interesting. I remember when I had Soul Calibur 6, I once dressed Voldo up in a nice, neat tuxedo. He looked very sharp, pun not intended. At least some things never change. I knew somebody was going to say that. Regarding me getting behind on the chat. Actually, I have to go to the bathroom, so I'm going to be about to get further behind. BRB.
Over here. Baby girl.
Sorry, I had to give Tara a pet. She's on the bed being all cute. Can you... Oh, you can see her back there. Whoops. There she is. Right there. I remember Taki now. Yeah, she was the ninja. I used to use her too. I'm kind of forgetting who the characters in Soul Calibur are. Speaking of cesspool, the internet was celebrating 4chan going down, and I'm like, no, you idiots. Now where do you think these monsters are gonna go? 4chan kept them in one spot. Fair point. I got some really good Pascha traditional Mennonite Easter bread from a local bakery. Sounds interesting. I remember when Tumblr was panicking about Twitter coming over there because of Musk, and they were all like, no, we banished you, we don't want you here. It was referred to as the Muskopolis. Muskocalypse. Oh god. We were staring at some random drawings of people's butts. Oops. Didn't think about that. Everyone wants Twitter to stay exactly where they are. Yeah. Fun fact, that local bakery was set up in the former local post office. Interesting. Doug Walker just released his updated top 10 worst movies list. I'm a little surprised that he didn't add The Last Airbender to the list. I haven't watched Doug Walker in years. I'll take your word on that. Moved out of the location because the town grew too big for it, so they needed a new facility. Interesting. Ivy was the scantily clad one, more scantily clad than the rest, I mean. Ivy's outfit got really fucking ridiculous considering that game's supposed to take place in like the 1800s or 1700s or something like that. Like, at least her original outfit was believable, even though it was basically a leather, you know, swimsuit. But, like, it kind of made sense in theory, but then next thing you know, she's wearing, like, a thong, and... I'm like, come on, man. I forget when Soul Calibur takes place, but you know what I mean. Well before people started wearing thongs and shit, string bikinis. Every time I hear a story about 4chan, I'm just left wondering how it's still legal and running. Yeah. Some of the posts are out there, let's put it that way, yeah. Talem, that name sounds familiar. Nightmare. Oh, I think I remember who Nightmare is. Vaguely. Reminds me of when I was searching through Blender modeling tutorials. There was a video telling us how to model dynamic breasts. Of course. Dynamic breasts. Wow. That's the name of my new band. I can only think of two reasons why you'd want to model dynamic breasts. Either you make 3D porn or you work for Namco. Possibly both, yeah. And they're basically the same. They're basically interchangeable, right? Soul Calibur takes place in the past. That's about all I can remember, yeah. I think I used to know when it took place, but I don't remember now. Ivy's outfit is what happens when game devs design characters one-handed, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Talon was the 15-year-old Filipino girl who used two short knives, sort of a fragile speedster. Okay. Is it a tutorial for modeling Lara Croft by any chance? I'm not gonna read that out loud. Anyway, yeah, I wish I had finished this guy, but before taking a little break, but oh well. Do, do, do. Yeah, the shading's on the wrong side on this guy too. Whatever. Maybe I could just like... Do I want to go this hard on the shading? Why not? Whoops. Hang on a second. That's a little error I made. First of all, what's happening? Oh, I accidentally was trying to unselect. Didn't quite work out. There we go. And whoa. Okay. Oh, okay, I know what I should do here. I forgot these two were on the same layer. Whoops. There we go. Okay, now back to what I was doing. Is this guy the only one left? I feel like he probably is. Looking forward to being done with this page. A little sloppy with the coloring sometimes. Yep, just this guy. I also messed up him. How do I, what's the best way to do this? I like that, apparently. Well, hang on. Jeez, I got really sloppy with this guy. What the hell? I tend to color from left to right, so I think by the time I got to this guy, I think I was getting tired and I was just like, fuck it. Okay. Here, let me back up so you guys aren't staring at people's butts. The CG porn is basically the only reason anyone cared about Overwatch. Good thing you didn't read it. Could have ended up in an out-of-context video somewhere. Yeah, you never know. After I saw Amelia Perez, I saw Vera Wild's video about the film, and man, did she have some words to say about the film. Yeah, I've seen a couple people cover that one. He does look a little bit like Link. I was pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed the peppered octopus at an Asian buffet. Peppered octopus. Interesting. Asian buffet on a road trip to America to get our camper. Vera even mentioned that Jesse Gender's video on the film even received a copyright strike by Netflix. Oh, it did, didn't it? I forgot about that. Now we're staring at everyone's butts. I know. At least you're not zoomed in on any butts, though. Chewy but not rubbery and had a pleasant, peppery bite to it. Interesting. The first video in my recommendations is Dina's Silent Hill movie watch party. She doesn't look too happy in the thumbnail. I definitely wasn't. No hard L in the Japanese language, so he'd be Rink instead of Link, probably. That reminds me of the first time I tried calamari. Thought it was an onion ring. I remember thinking, this tastes unusually fishy and chewy. I see some Red Dwarf cat inspiration for the hairstyles. I'm always giving men long hair and ponytails for some reason. I don't think it's because of cat, though. I think I'll do this guy's hair first. Your followers are like the Saw fan base, wholesome but also strangely horny. If you say so. I didn't know that about the Saw fan base, but take your word on that. Do 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 do. Thanks for the hearts. It's probably special iron, but it's not always. A little too much black in this. I probably didn't know I was going to make him blonde at the time. Otherwise, I probably would have gone less heavy on the shading there. Doesn't even really make sense to have shading right there. That's where highlight would be. I don't know what I was thinking when I did that. Let me get a bigger brush. I hate it when my earlobe itches right where my piercing is. I always feel a little bit nervous about scratching it, like I'm gonna accidentally pull my earring out somehow. I don't think that's a thing that could really happen, but... shading, even though the shaded part of him is mostly off screen. We're getting a little fancy with the shading. Just felt like this guy needed more shading for some reason. In fact, that looks kind of weird. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and... Does that even make sense? Now he looks like he has like half a butt. I think I'm gonna bring that back. Yeah, I'm just making it the way it was before now. Well, not quite. Whatever, I don't want to overthink that. Oops. Yeah, that's good enough, I think. Let me try to soften some of this shading. God, it's 2:30 already. I've been at this for an hour and a half. Okay, let me see. Oh, nope. I'm trying to smudge. There we go. There we go. I guess that looks all right, whatever. Oh! I forgot to shade this guy's belt. Unfortunately, it's the same color as this guy's shirt, so that was a good move there, Dina. There we go. There we go. All right. Back on track. Shift, not control. I'll just go ahead and use this color. Oh God, not Tube of Medusa. This music triggers me. There we go. That's helping to set him apart from the guy behind him. God, I just can't hear this music without Imagine Echo being thrown around by the Medusa, and it just reminds me of how freaking frustrating that level is. She'll just grab you and fling you in a random direction. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. All that's left are his pants. Let's go. Oh yeah, I think I added this stippling effect too since the last time I streamed. Welp. There we go. I need a bigger brush for that. I'll check the chat in a minute. That doesn't look right. See, the fact that I'm on the edge of the page also means I'm on the edge of my Wacom tablet, and it's kind of awkward to shade these parts. I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing a very good job shading this, but whatever. There we go, I guess. Alright, that panel's done. Unless I decide to add some, like, shadows. They kind of look like they're floating, don't they? That might be something to do in post. The guy on the right looks like if Legolas received a bionic arm. Futuristic Lord of the Rings. I can kind of see it. Saw fans are like, why is every Jigsaw killer hot? Even John is like the G-Dove. That's funny. We do keep the chat relatively clean, if suggestive sometimes. I once had a camel burger at a local joint on the way to a relative's cabin for a family gathering. It was basically just a gamier beef burger. Yeah. That's how I would imagine it being, I guess. I feel very disturbed but intrigued all of a sudden. Hi, George. Just making a cameo appearance. The first Saw movie is really good. Second one I thought was kind of dumb. And I never did get around to watching the rest. I've seen about 10% of Saw. That sounds about right. For me. Hi, Florence. Now he looks like he has half a butt, Dina 2025. I feel like I could put a little more shading on this guy now that I think I'll probably go back and do that after I finish, after I get caught up on the chat. I've seen Saw 1 through 3, wasn't interested in the rest till Spiral, bad, and then Saw 10, good. So about half the series. Yeah, that's more than me already. Sixth one amused me. It was about a guy who tried to cash in on the killings by setting up a support group and falsely claiming to be a survivor, doing interviews and book signings. Interesting. Just came back from my niece's party at Chuck E. Cheese. It's her 3rd birthday today. Well, I didn't know Chuck E. Cheese was still a thing. I guess it is. They probably just don't have video games anymore. While the killers were still going on and somehow expected not to draw attention to himself. That sounds ridiculous. All up in the butter? That's a weird way to put it. Now worried to have half of a whole butt. What is happening in this stream? I've heard 6 is one of the better ones. I may do the whole series, or at least the ones I missed one day. I don't know if I'm ever going to watch more of them. I really don't like torture porn. It just makes me a little too uncomfortable. And I know the later movies have a lot of that. Oh, I see that Styx showed up. Thank you, Special Iron. Oh, okay. I mean, I knew you were referring to butts, but I thought that was intentional. Dude is having giant red jellyfish flashbacks, pretty much. Oh, Tube of Medusas are an especially hard level in Echo 2. Basically, you get repeatedly attacked by a giant jellyfish while you're in a kind of a tube of water that's in the sky, and she'll pick you up and fling you, and you fall to your death. Over and over and over. It's fucking horrible. I do like the collection of colors. It's almost like a palette of characters. Thank you. It's surprisingly hard choosing the colors. Maybe it's because I've gotten to the point where I've just drawn so many crowds of people, I'm just tired of picking colors for them. Oh, and I got a confession to make. Some of these color schemes I used down here, but because it's tinted purple, it's not so noticeable. At least I choose to believe that it's not so noticeable. A level in the second game where you're chased by a giant jellyfish that keeps trying to drop you back to the start. Yeah, that works too. First time I played it, I had a wonky gamepad that couldn't do diagonals well. Oh god. Like it wasn't hard enough already. You can really tell the creators of Saw just really regret killing John Kramer because they do everything they can to bring him back. I don't know who that is. All that's left are his pants. Let's go. Quote of the day. Saw 3 was meant to be the finale, but the producers went, oh, no, we've got to have money. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Hi, Styx. Has the food stream happened? Yeah, a little bit. Saw got weird after the 3rd. Yeah, I've heard that. Unrelated, I'm going back to Tasmania next month. Gonna see more of the state too, and on that note, I need to hop in the shower and then into my car. Okay, George, thanks for stopping by. Have fun in Tasmania. That sounds interesting. Yeah, the second one was weird. You survived my trap, but if you want to be my protege, I have to put you in another one. Cool by me. Had takeaway chicken strips and garlic bread tonight. That sounds good. I'm basically off my anti-inflammatory diet. I've put most foods back in, so there's that. Still trying to eat healthy because I still want to lose weight, but my diet's less restrictive now at least. Sixth one was about how health insurance is a scam. Interesting. Oh, Chuck E. Cheese still has video games and even a jungle gym for the kids is still pretty big in my local area. That's interesting. Echo chat, sweet. John Kramer's the original Jigsaw killer. Oh, okay, I guess I didn't know his name. Yeah, he was one of the few things I liked about the second movie. He seems cool. I wish that character could be in better movies. If that makes any sense. He showed up for the first and third and then was out. Oh, really? I thought he was in more of them than that. 4 is great. It opens with his autopsy and they find a tape in his stomach. Oh, God. Of course they did. Oh, but he was in flashback form in later films. Okay. That explains why I thought he was in more of them. He was, just not in present time. Main thing I know about Saw 3D is the pink blood. Basically, they made the blood pink so that it would be red in 3D and forgot to fix it on the DVD release. That was so funny. So they all had Klingon blood. I'm excited for the next NCIS spin-off. I've never watched NCIS. I think I've caught a few episodes, but I've never seriously watched it. The sub-villains in Saw X are so bad they make the sub-villains in Saw 2 relatable. Not complaining tells you how bad the world is when there are people worse than Jigsaw killers. Dina, yeah, I'm skipping all the Saw chat now. Yeah. Well, you know, I haven't seen too many of the movies, so it's kind of lost on me. He's a guy who suffers from traumatic backstory syndrome, yeah. They all died for the glory of the Empire. I would have said newcomer blood, but I figured more people would recognize Klingons. Oh, hi, Ashtray. It's been a little while. John also did so much forward planning, he's basically omnipotent at this point. That sounds about accurate from what I've heard. Thank you for the hearts. Okay, let me fix this guy's butt so y'all can take that out of context. Let me bring up the tolerance. See if I can get it so that this just might not even work. It's the downside to putting so many characters on one. Damn it! Alright, fine. Oh, well, that worked just as well. I should have just done that in the first place. Let me use my pen for this. I might have been able to get away with using the mouse, but... There. I always felt like that guy could use a little more shading on him somewhere. Didn't have to specifically be his butt, but I just felt like he needed more shading, so I'm glad I... Oh, okay. There we go. Okay, that panel is done. You know what? I'm gonna add a little more shading on his legs too. At least the right one. Oh, what? I did it again. Okay, that guy looks a little less flat now. I hate how Jigsaw decided that a man's depressed self-harming deserved death. Oof. Yeah, that's not great. Saw 10 actually did... I keep alternating Saw X and Saw 10 because I don't actually know which one you're supposed to call it. Oh, somebody just joined the Discord. Anyway, it actually did well with critics because they realized John would work as a villain protagonist. Caught the stream just at the perfect time. Let's fix this guy's butt. You can take that out of context. Ask and ye shall receive, yeah. I've had plenty of butt conversations already. Dynamic breasts briefly, mostly because we were discussing Soul Calibur. Excuse me. Humanized him and remind you, hey, this is a dude with cancer who got taken advantage of, yeah. I do recommend NCIS to people even if they aren't into the crime dramas, mainly because the character development for everyone in each season, I feel like the characters are the draw more than the crimes are. I think maybe I just kind of burned myself out on crime dramas because I used to watch so many of them, and then I got to the point where I was only watching Law & Order SVU, and that's still the only one I watch. I remember it took me several attempts to do the Abyss level with the giant seashell. Oh god, yeah. Big problem with Saw that I've seen is that because the first film had a twist, now every film needs to have a twist. Oh yeah. That's always bad when that happens. John's whole thing is that if you don't appreciate your life, you must fight to prove you want to live. Also, he is a hypocrite. That is part of his character. Ah, fair enough. Okay, I'm not sure. I got 15 minutes left. Let's see how far into this panel I can get. I don't plan on doing a whole lot. Mostly I'm just going to do a little bit of shading and highlights, maybe just shading on these guys. And, oh, I need to add some shading and highlights on this peacock. Yeah, I literally just drew a peacock. I'm like, I wanted to have some really cool looking exotic bird, and I ended up doing a Google search on peacocks and turned out to be perfect for this. He doesn't even look like futuristic or anything. This is pretty much how peacocks look. Yeah, like I don't need shading back here or anything. I'm just gonna shade these trees a little bit. Do, 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 do. Whoops. I messed up. I forgot that there were, Damn it! Come on! Okay, fine. Deselect first. Select. Shit. I forgot that there were green parts that I didn't want to color. Or, select, rather. I think I'm going to go kind of sparing with the, shading here. I think I'm just going to shade these little... these little spots that really need it, where there's like... these are fairly small panels, so... oops, I think that was supposed to be leaf colored. There we go. Not as many details here. I guess I ought to have some shading here to show some depth. Do, 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 do. I feel like this needs a little more shading, even though there's less detail on it, just so they kind of match. Okay, hopefully that looks all right. I'll shade these bits of trees. Oops, I forgot. I forgot about these little rocks here. So what's pets over there? Do you guys hear Soul? I'll check the chat in a second. I'm almost done here. Actually, maybe I'll stop pretty soon because my hand's starting to hurt. I was gonna have to rest my hands soon anyway, so. Okay. It's looking pretty good. Something's bugging me. There, I like that a little better. Also, damn, I got really sloppy here. Oh my god, I'm finding a lot of little spots where ah, crap. Oh, damn it. I thought I had smudge selected. Damn. Finding a lot of spots where I was... It probably doesn't show when it's zoomed out though, so I don't know, maybe I'm worrying about it too much. Okay. Oh, it is X and not 10. I'll try to remember that. Now we move to the down to the lower panel where we have more butts to stare at. How many pages are completed now? This is page 7, and this other one that I was where is it? There isn't like a open recent. There we go. And this one that I'm partway through is page 8. Let's just go ahead and hide that. That's not indicative of what that panel's gonna look like anyway. So yeah, this is page 7, which is nearly done, and this is page 8, where I need to actually draw this panel. And then once I do that, I'll be able to start coloring all of this. I already added color in the background, but yeah. So I'm currently working on 7 and 8 at the same time. We haven't spoken much about Sonic, but I still get a kick out of how their idea to make the series mature with its audience was to design Rouge. Oh, you mean the games. For some reason I thought you meant the movies, I don't know why. They basically admitted that Shadow was staring at the girls. Oh god. If there ever is a bird I can see being worshipped as a god, it's a peacock. That does make a kind of sense, doesn't it? I think my thought process was something along the lines of, hey, I don't think I've ever seen a peacock flying. How do they look flying? And I saw some pictures of them flying, and I'm like, I'm just gonna draw that. I mean, it looks like it's much bigger than a modern peacock, so he obviously evolved in some way. Just maybe not as much as you might expect. Reasons for ending up in his traps range from you faked being sick, clearly personal, you self-harm, you take drugs, and then get questionable, you're a voyeur, you smoke. Special Iron's real name's Seymour Butts. No, it's Huge Ass. Really, there are cutscenes in a Sonic game where Shadow is blatantly looking rather disrespectfully at Rouge's figure. Ew. Rouge's whole character design is fucking weird, really. I haven't watched SVU in a long time. I feel like I should start from the beginning again because I barely remember everything. It's going to be a lot of seasons for me to catch up on. Yeah, I think they're like 25, maybe? I've lost track of how many seasons in we are, but yeah, that show's been on for a long time. Later movies have picked up on a new trend of putting really despicable people in traps so you root for John by comparison. Oh yeah, asshole victims. Not a huge fan of that trope. Hi, Noah. Oh, now I'm at the point where Soul is making noise. Sounds like a squeaky toy. He has very high-pitched meow for what a big cat he is. Mummy, is my food ready? Nah, he wanted pets. You know that Soul's not going to accept your hand hurting as an excuse to not pet him. Yeah, he really wanted pets from Lee because Lee's right next to him, so. Just looking at that panel with the peacock reminds me of the Moray Abyss level. Oh yeah, I see it. Music ended. Yeah, time to end the stream. Just trying to get caught up on the chat here. The curse of the artist, you're always going to see a flaw in your work unless you're a narcissist. Yeah, that's the thing. One thing you really have to learn is to just fucking stop messing with it after a point, because sometimes you get to a point where you're just making it worse. Plot twist, the peacock gets destroyed to reveal the first of the asterite globes. Dina, it's finished, Dina's brain. Not to worry, I'll find something wrong. Yeah. We are all up in the butts. He has half a butt. Let me just fix this guy's butt. Is everything okay, Dina? LOL. I can't help it if there are lots of butts in this picture, as if I didn't draw it. All joking aside, it looks really good, better than my drawing skills. Thank you. I thought weirdly jarring real picture of man was going to be part of the comic. That would be an interesting thing to throw in, wouldn't it? I should probably zoom out on this so you can see the whole thing now that I'm done for now. I feel like I could make this guy's neck a little bit lighter on this side. I may do that after. Off screen, whatever. Final results are always really good. Thank you. How does this become the saw and butt stream? Yeah, I feel like we have new topics now. Yeah, he never traps people for you looked at me in a funny way. There's a town that gets terrorized by peacocks every mating season. I could see it. Well, Sonic is Japanese. Their censorship is much more lax from what I've seen. Yeah, true. Was glad I caught this. I missed the community and seeing you, Dina. You too, Ashtray. Yeah, I noticed you were missing from the last few. We're at the Keep Dina Talking part of the stream, aka the end. You guys are sadistic, you know that, don't you? Any idea for another long-form video outside of streaming? You know, I have one about the Legacy of Kain series I saw, and I just kind of stopped working on it because I was having to force it too much, but I might be ready to start working on it again sometime. And like I said, with the Echo, the new Echo sequel coming out sometime, it might be time to do Echo 2. I've seen someone do a voiceover videos of their cat, and the cat refers to it as his house and his humans and his servants, and the dog as his annoying brother. That's cute. Yeah, if you draw them all facing forward, you just commented on the number of crotches we can see, possibly. Yeah, probably. Let's just be grateful we didn't get into specific details on the traps themselves. We don't want to talk about. I'm not sure what word you were starting to type there. stop reading the chat. It's a jigsaw trap. May as well be. If we're the nice kind of sadistic as there is, if there is such a thing. The last few, I think it's been a year. I've been so busy on Saturdays. It happened a couple years ago. I disappeared for over a year. Oh, okay. Well, to be fair, I haven't streamed in a few. I haven't streamed in nearly a month, so I kind of lost track of, you know. I tend to sometimes lose track of who showed up in what stream when it's been a long time. I have other things to say, but I'm going to wait till next time. I appreciate it. Save something for next week. Hopefully I'll be back next week. I plan to. Should I watch the Jim Carrey Sonic films? I think they're surprisingly good, honestly. Like, I thought the first one was just okay, but I think they're getting progressively better. We don't talk about Bruno. Oh, duh. Okay. We don't talk about Bruno. I mean torture. Okay, okay, I get it now. Sorry. That was my bad. I should have caught that. I think I didn't notice the wording or something. If that makes any sense. Thanks for stopping by, Living Corpse. Take care, everyone. Thanks for the fun stream as usual. Glad you liked it. Yes, watch the Sonic films, join on conversations. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you guys joining my art streams. I'm actually surprised at how many people do. Yeah, so I should be streaming again next week. At least I plan to if nothing comes up or if I'm not sick or whatever. Whatever. Our streams are fun. I like seeing how this develops. Thank you. I appreciate it. So have a good rest of the weekend, everybody. How'd you turn this thing off then? I think it's this button. Maybe late getting in next week, buses depending. Okay. So do I press stop on YouTube? I know I forget every fucking time. I'm pretty sure it's YouTube. Okay, bye everybody. See you next week, I hope. Bye.